Hello and welcome to week 2 of English 111 online JCC Summer 2020. I'm your Professor Jason Morgan. All right, so what are we doing? What are we doing this week? Well, remember how this is a summer course and it's only 8 weeks long, and so we kind of need to double down on some things. Yeah, this is a busy week, so hang on tight and you can do it. Okay, so in your textbook, which is the Norton Field Guide to Writing, again, you can use either edition 4 or 5, and I didn't put the particular page numbers on here because you can just look up in the index these different areas, okay? And there'll be quizzes on that down there. But again, remember the quizzes you can take twice. So review the information in here in the textbook, and you'll be fine. Now the next thing is watch the video on plagiarism, which is right there. It's about 6 minutes long. You need to know what plagiarism is and how to avoid it. And then in your book, there's also a section on describing, because there's a quiz on that, which we'll talk about. There is another reading called Sister Flowers, and there's a link down here, Sister Flowers, right there. If you just click on that, that'll take you to that short story. And we're going to introduce your first paper. So there's a total of 4 papers we're going to be writing for this class, and we will be introducing the first one today. How exciting is that? And it's going to be a narrative paper, which actually were pretty cool. Yeah. So there's that. And then we have a video on narration, which is right there. Okay, we'll talk about the narrative paper in just a second. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's kind of break this down. So here's the video on plagiarism. You need to know what that is. Sister Flowers. So let's talk about the first paper, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, so narration is, and again, this video kind of explains it pretty well. It's basically a story. You're telling a story. And for this particular paper, if you click on either one of these, it'll give you the directions, and this is kind of review them. So for this paper, you're going to have one of 2 prompts. You can choose option A or option B. Option A is choose of a time when you did something that took a lot of nerve, a time when you didn't feel like you followed the crowd, or a time that you stood up for your beliefs. Okay, so you're going to tell a story about a situation, and you're going to talk about the details and really kind of why this really was important to you. Or we all have memories that are connected to our experiences. Think about an experience you'll always remember, okay? And then try to retell the story of an experience that you had. This needs to be 2 to 5 pages in length, typed double-spaced in MLA formatting. And you're like, I'm not sure how to do MLA formatting. Well, we'll talk about MLA formatting next week, okay, if you need a refresher for that. So 2 to 5 pages in length. It is not a research paper, so you don't have to do research. This is just a story that you were writing about something that happened to you. And yeah, so that's the gist of it. Again, more information about that is found in the narration lecture, so we won't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on that. When you're writing, you want to use description and also the narrative quiz, which is kind of, if you read the directions up here, all this stuff up here, audience and genre and stance, and really if you watch the video on narration, here are the quizzes and the answers for those. So yeah, you'll be in good shape. You'll be fine. Okay, what else do we have to do this week? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Down here we also have 2 more portfolios. And then we'll walk through what we need to do step by step in a second. But the other second portfolio is in at least 300 words. Write about one of your favorite childhood memories. You can use this portfolio right here to kind of maybe get some ideas to write your paper. That can be like a springboard. So if you want to write a paper about something that you'll always remember, and you want to write about your childhood memories, you can maybe write about 300 words, and that can kind of get you some ideas. That's fine. Also, portfolio 3 will kind of do that. This is a story about a time that I blank, something you did. So both of these prompts here are just kind of little writing prompts to help you kind of write little narrations that will help you think about a bigger narration you want to tell. Now, normally we only have 1 portfolio a week, but since we're doubling down, we may have multiple portfolios per week. All right, so let's look at what's due. So what you're going to do for every single paper is that you're going to write a first draft, and then you're going to post your first draft to the discussion board. Okay, so if we go over here to the discussion board, and we scroll down here, we'll talk about Sister Flowers in just a second. You would then click on here, and you're going to create a thread. And this is my paper. Paper. I can spell. It's been a long day. Okay. And then you would attach your paper. Again, please use a doc or a docx file. And a Word document would be best to upload those, or a PDF is okay, I guess. But then what you're going to do is you're going to upload your paper. And then you're going to review 2 other students' papers and post feedback in the discussion board. So once you've submitted it, you've submitted it, when you go here, you'll see all these people's stories. And then you're going to read 2 of them, and you're going to give them feedback. And the feedback you're going to give them is like right here, okay? Is it double spaced? Is it at least 2 to 5 pages? If there are any distracting grammar issues after the reading paper, is it clear why this story is important to their lives? Okay. And again, you're going to use first person, so do not use second person. You love to go to the beach. No, it's first person, okay? And if you notice that 2 people have already reviewed a paper, pick somebody else. Pick someone who hasn't had any feedback yet. Let's do that, because we want everyone to get feedback. So again, if we go to week 2 and we look at what we do, so post your first draft of the narrative paper, and that's due by Friday. Okay, you have until Friday to write your first draft of the narrative paper. And then by next Monday, you have to take the quiz on the descriptive writing, which is, again, where is it? Where? Down there. Okay. And the quiz on narrative, which is down there. And then we'll talk about Sister Flowers in a second. Those portfolio assignments that we saw at the end, they are due by the 1st, and then you have to give your feedback to peers by the 1st, which is also next Monday. So post your first draft of your narrative paper by Friday, and then read 2 people's papers and give them feedback by Monday. And again, the way you give feedback is that you'd go to the discussion board and you would see their threads. Okay, you go to the correct discussion and you see their threads. You click on their thread, you can read it, and then you can reply to them. You're going to reply and giving them feedback. Yeah. All right, we have one last thing to cover, which is Sister Flowers. Sister Flowers is a little narrative story, so written by Maya Angelou. Okay. So when you click on here, you're going to read this story. This is an example of a narrative, okay? And to make things even more exciting, we're also going to do a discussion on Sister Flowers. So we have 2 discussion boards this week. And if you look at the discussion board, you'll see that we also have Sister Flowers. So same thing, where on this one, you're going to click on Sister Flowers, and then you're going to create a thread. And after you read the Sister Flowers little story, you're going to answer these questions right there, okay? Right? Those are the 3 questions. So you're going to answer those 3 questions. You'll submit it, and you have to do that by Friday, and then you have to respond to at least 2 of your peers and by Monday of the following week. Okay? I know it's a little weird right now. You'll get the hang of how this class works. Go back and rewatch this video if you need to. You'll be able to figure it out. I have faith in you. But again, if you just kind of go through what's found in the weekly assignments, all the stuff is here. All the little clicks are here. And you'll be fine. You'll do great. All right. If you do have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm happy to help you. All right. Now go have fun and do the stuff for week number 2.